I'm Michael Bain, and this is The Best Defense. How much time do we spend in places like this? We park our car, run our errands, come back to the car, throw the packages in, drive to the next errand, park the car, and we do it so much that we do it unconsciously. The problem, though, is when we do things unconsciously, we open ourselves up to potential danger. And parking lots like this are prime hunting grounds for predators. Let's see how that works.
Hey, man, you got any jumper cables? My car's dead right over there, man.
I don't know.
It's my kid's birthday. I gotta get to his birthday party.
I might. Let me check.
Maybe if you check.
Check in the car.
So in this particular scenario, this guy put himself in a really bad situation. First of all, he's in a dark parking lot without a light. So, he has an option to go back to where it's lit or to get a flashlight because you can't see anything that's going on. Number two, he puts himself in a really bad position. What could he have done better?
Anytime you're in a low light situation, things are a whole lot more difficult because you want to be aware, but the darker it is, the harder it is to see what's going on around you. So he not only had the mistake of not having a light with him, but also he missed a lot of the things that he might have seen. Something like the hidden hands, the crowbar down behind the hand. If you have somebody who's walking naturally, you're going to see their hands moving. Most people won't hide their hands. So when you've got a hidden hand, that's cause for concern. Also the idea that when he decides that he wants to help the guy, here you have an unknown person that you met just a few seconds before, you're going to put your hand in your pocket to reach for your keys and purposely turn your back on him. It's a recipe for disaster.
So with a little bit better tactics, maybe the use of a light, good verbalization skills, that's going to change things entirely. Let's see how that looks. Hey, man, you got any jumper cables?
No, I'm sorry.
I got a dead car right there.
I'm sorry, I don't have anything.
Hey, can you check?
Excuse me, what do you have there?
Get in the car, let's go for a ride.
In this version of the scenario, things worked out a whole lot better, primarily because we had the light, but also because there are a lot of other things that he picked up on and did right to be able to tip the tables in his favor. Most importantly, he was able to maintain distance. He had an unknown person coming up to him. He took charge of the situation by using verbal skills. He made sure that he maintained that distance. And he also was picking up on the pre-incident indicators, primarily that idea of the hidden hand. When he didn't see that hand, when he saw it suspiciously held behind that leg, he literally called the guy out and said, hey, what do you have there? And at that point, he was able to bring his other skills into play. What did you see at that point, Mike?
Well, obviously, due to previous training with that light and recognizing, obviously, the hand behind the back, he had the ability physically to launch an assault because of the verbalization, the fact that the guy has a weapon now. His other choice would have been to wait to defend his head, maybe, against a strike with the crowbar, but I think that you and I both know that's going to be a lose-lose in a situation like that. So self-defense doesn't always mean you have to wait till somebody punches you first or strikes you or swings something at you. He took that preemptive cue and decided, hey, I'm going to do something about it so I can survive the situation.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, go big or go home. And uniquely, I think, had he been armed with a firearm, he probably could access a firearm then and maybe would have been justified in using it, depend on the circumstances of that situation. Fortunately, this guy had the size and the physical ability to pull this off, but someone of a completely different build may not be able to do that. Let's look at how that plays out in a different scenario. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, do you have any jumper cables? My car's dead right over there.
No, sorry, can't help you.
Oh, come on, I know you can help,
What do you have
please.
behind your back?
I don't have anything behind my back. I need
Stop, I'm armed, get back! I have a gun, get back!
Okay, okay.
What you just saw was a little bit different take on scenarios as far as how we approach them here on The Best Defense. Essentially, the attack or the setup to the attack was exactly the same as what we saw with the male, but we had a female defender. She was smaller, she had fewer physical skills, she had less physical strength, and therefore her ability to defend against somebody using physical skills as far as kicks and striking and everything of that nature would be much more limited. So what we ended up with was a different type of response. What did she do, Mike?
She did so many things right. I mean, number one, she walks into a dark parking lot and recognizes that and does something about it. She grabs a flashlight, and that flashlight allows her to receive the information. Hey, there's a guy over there that doesn't look right, and she's going to observe and find out, hey, is this guy just getting in his car, or is he really a bad guy? At that point in time, that gives her the information to start to verbalize to him and use that flashlight offensively, where she's literally getting up in his eyes. And as he approaches her, based on the information she has at that time, she knows there's that size disparity. She knows that she can't let this guy get close to her, so she's prepping her draw inside the purse. She's armed, which is a great thing to be. Obviously, if she gets the hand on the gun and she has to use it, her draw speed is literally half as fast.
Sooner is better.
Yeah, absolutely, sooner is better. And then the indicators he gives her at that point in time certainly show her that, hey, this guy is truly a bad guy intent on doing me harm. He's got a weapon, he's got a crowbar. She pulls the gun out and she does some wonderful verbalizations, literally takes control of the situation, escalates her tone and scares the guy and lets him know that she's not a victim. And he's not her victim that night.
Exactly.
So she allows herself to get out of the situation.
When you look at that scenario and you look at the previous scenario, what you've got is the full spectrum of the use of the flashlight in self-defense. You saw her using it as an awareness tool. You saw the use of it as a force multiplier, being able to blind somebody from a distance. You saw it used as an improvised weapon and also as a support tool for the use of the firearm. That's the full scope of using the flashlight, and it's a big part of your best defense.
When you call the police to report the incident that just occurred, and understand that you need to be the one calling 911 despite what other people might say, understand that your phone call is being recorded, so don't say anything stupid. Make sure you tell the 911 operator the location, and if you can give a description of yourself and a very brief synopsis of what happened. I was attacked, I had to use a gun for self-defense. And that's all you really need to tell them. But understand, you are going to be the suspect in a killing, and the 911 operator is an agent of the police. Make sure that your gun is secured, either in your holster or unloaded and secured away from you when the police show up. Make sure your hands are visible to the police so they don't mistake you as another armed criminal. You may be treated roughly, you may be handcuffed, you may be put on the ground. That is proper police training. They have to secure that scene for their own protection and the protection of the people around them. Understand, the police are going to view you as a criminal suspect in a killing, so don't be argumentative to them. And lastly, this is not the time to discuss the Second Amendment rights that you have as an armed citizen.
Awareness and avoidance are the tools that gets us past those unconscious things that we do in our lives, those things that open us up to danger. Because remember, if you are carrying a weapon, the very best shot is the shot that you don't have to fire. The reason you don't have to fire that shot is you are paying attention. I'm Michael Bain. Stay safe.